The big conversation, State of the Nation, right here on Look Up Television. The morning drift, a conversation that you don't want to miss. Of course, it's an engagement across the divide, both politically and socially, which is a matter past the top of the hour. And so much engagement is happening across the country. And even as we speak about that, there is a consideration on the shoe that was thrown at President William Ruto yesterday in Migori County, bringing so much uproar in regards to the same. The security intents and of course the behaviors in that particular area, and really understanding the depths and heights of this particular environment. Politically, remember, there is also a conversation on the Wamunyoro politics. What is it to expect in the 2027 politics right here in the country? Matiang'i is coming along and with a great height and great support that we'll see whether it will work out. Now, about the labor holidays, we had so much to talk about in regards to what's the voice of the Mwananchi, and even as we delve about that, what do you think that we're moving in the right way as a country, and do you think both politically and socially we are on the same page? Is the government and the Mwananchi reading on the same pages? The developments that are happening in the country, are they bringing an uproar or are it solution based? We'll be involving our analysts to really understand the depths of this particular conversation, but in the long run, of course, if this conversation matters, the more actually earlier last week, four suspects rather, were arrested in regards to the same, and yesterday were released to the same accord. Now, the disinformation about MP Were that has flooded social media is not by coincidence. It is well orchestrated, it is well mobilized, it is well funded, and the idea is to cover up the murder of Were. That is, even yesterday, members who were at MP's Were Karen home really feared to leave beyond dusk, as you cannot know who will be safe. Even then is safe. The casual manner in which the MP lost his life is something that can downgrade the sense of security of the country in the eye of the international community. That is Peter Kaluma, just giving a sentiment in regards to the shooting of the MP Were. But in the same regards, allow us now to welcome our guest. Thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Juma, the political analyst and educationist. Just want to take this opportunity to greet our viewers, wherever they are in the country, beyond East Africa. Let them enjoy the conversation. It's our country. We need to discuss these issues and get the solution and get the way forward so that we have a better country. Indeed. As a nation. A better country indeed. First things first, of course, yesterday there was a security scare to the President William Ruto. Unfortunate that that incident happened in Migori. We are sorry. It's unethical, it's unacceptable, it's immoral. It's a symbol of unity. Indeed. So myself and they need not to openly apologize. But again, also, I also request the president two things. One, you need to change his styles of politics. Perhaps giving false promises here and there, kutenga na kutenga, it's angered so many people because it's the same story, the same narrative, it's the same poem everywhere you go. And perhaps this may be angered people emotionally on the same things he said 6 months ago when he was in Migori. He comes back and says the same things. It's like more or less he's campaigning instead of delivering the promises that he made to Kenyans during the campaign. So, and it's unfortunate that has happened, but the president also needs to change his politics. Number two, the security around the president should be able to work. The president has the intelligence, they have the security apparatus, security systems and everything to be able to make sure the president is safe all the time, is visiting any place, any region in Kenya. Yeah. What is the symbolism on all this in regards to that particular shoe? Was it a coincidence? Was it politically motivated? What was the essence really on this particular? Something that was planned. Politically motivated, the person could have thrown the shoes to the opponent, or if there was political wrangles between the two opponents or the two MPs or the two leaders, the person could have thrown the shoes to the leaders, not to the president. But you see, these shoes was directly thrown towards the president, and the unfortunate that the worst could have happened if it was a grenade, if it was a tear gas. We could be talking of president, all the face was slope up, and now the president has been flown out of the country for treatment. We don't want to hear such things happen. let's differ politically, let's differ in opinion, in ideas, but let's not make it personal, because throwing a shoes to someone who resemble, who is the head of state, or any person, any leader in African culture, that is immoral, unethical, and unacceptable. So it was well planned, not by the leaders, but the individual. So that if individual is caught up, the police,
a shoe at President William Ruto while he was addressing the residents of Kehancha area yesterday. Now, of course, the security officer who requested anonymity due to the sensitivity of the case confirmed that investigations are ongoing and that more suspects are being pursued. What will happen to these three suspects that were captured yesterday?
The security department, the police should do their work, do the investigation.
Indeed.
These people, if they are find they are guilty, they should be into court. The proper enough evidence should be taken to court and should be responsible for their action. At the end of the day, the shoes was also thrown by individual. I don't think the shoes can be thrown by three people, but it's individual. So that particular individual should face the full force of the law and taken to court and be charged by that responsibility of throwing the shoes to individuals, so that should not also happen to the president anywhere in the country. We may differ politically, we may differ with our idea.
Even as you express that, there is a particular divide that is coming in, and because the president was insecure yesterday, what is the image, perhaps, as a country?
It's a bad image. I've said that let's differ with the government ideology in principle, but let's differ personally. And that's why we are going to even discuss things of abduction, shedding of blood of the Jay-Z. Because when it goes there, we are now not differing in principle. We are differing and costing someone's life. So like throwing the shoes to the head of state, it's like you are there, the life of the head of state. You are putting the life of head of state at risk at that particular time. And also you are showing too much disrespect to the head of state. Let's differ in ideologies. We don't have stability. We don't have stability of economy. The education sector is deteriorating. The health sector is deteriorating. We need to move forward as a country. You need to let us know what we need to do, put strategy and plan in place for us to move. That if it's demonstration, we don't demonstrate that at the end of the day, the blood, we shed the blood, we kill people and all that. Let's differ in ideology.
Indeed. Speaking about insecurities, of course, across the country, there's also concern on the MPs and the safety of the parliament right in the country. Of course, you remember the story on MP Were. Detectives are pursuing leads on the man who killed Kaspool Member of Parliament Charles Ngondo at a traffic jam in Nairobi, wore a hood to hide his identity. The killer also most likely trailed the MP's cars from the parliament killer was captured on security cameras near where he stopped to make financial transactions on his way from the parliament building. Someone is following you from your offices, from the parliament building, where of course we believe there is so much security and the security is tight. But later on, a few minutes later, you're found in a jam. Then you're attacked. Then above all, you're shot dead.
It was well planned. Well planned, well castigated.
He knew the time, he knew the
time,
details.
he knew the hour, he knew the change of car, the change of clothes, the change of seat where the president was sitting, where the MP was sitting, where the MP was going to do the M-Pesa transaction, where the MP is going to stop. So it was well planned. But again, above all, the responsibility of the security is based on the state. Is the state have the responsibility to make sure that all their citizens are safe wherever they are. The security apparatus systems are put in place. we've done a lot of reforms in the police, in the security sector, in the police and all that, but that has not seemed to be working until to date. Because I don't see the reasons why the MP should get worried when their member is killed. When the police killed the JNC during the demonstration, there's been abduction. The same MPs who make laws in parliament, they have not come out to condemn this to the highest order, to the highest pedigree, to the highest degree. That we live in a country where which every life is important. We value each and everyone's life. It's our responsibility to create laws that protect each and everyone's life. You hear an MP said in parliament, every day people die. Let's sympathize and move on.
Indeed.
The other day, Beatrice Alachi said very well that if you feel you don't want to live in this country, you can pack your things and go and live in Dubai, go and live in another country. If you feel Kenya is a bad country. And you know what happened? You know, God is for everyone. You know what happened to Alachi? You know, it's unfortunate that he lost his son. And move on. Their colleague just died a horrible death the other day because of insecurity. It's high time we have a conversation as a country that will be able to see security system operators and the policies that govern the security sector, the police and all that working, so that each and every person's life must be protected. From Baringo, from Turkana, to Pokot, to Nyanza, to Nairobi. If you're walking
If you want to have a proper outlook of the economy, then you have to speak to the wheels and gears of the integral businesses in the country.
And I want to be able to make the youths and everybody coming up in Kenya know that this is here locally.
Men and women in the thick of the bust of markets rising and falling, fighting to make their business decisions stick.
I've always lived in my career that I can never be late.
You need to train by yourself. You need to practice by yourself. Then from there you can compose yourself and give kind of services like this.
On season 2 of the Captain's Arena, we seek the inside of the minds, predict the shift in the markets, get inspiration to start and make sense of it all.
Just watch what everybody else is doing and just make sure you're giving back to the society.
Oof. This is the Captain's Arena. Start your day with a workout routine, an exciting moment of exercise that is simple but powerful for your ultimate fitness. Build your strength, shape and body muscles with lunges, push-ups, squats, burpees, planks, dumbbells and more. Let's work out every Monday to Saturday from 6:30 a.m. on Fitness Zone, a one surefire way to attack your fitness regimen effectively.
Feeling like unwinding and calming your nerves down after a long week? I'm Nika Kala. Join me on the Nakala Report this coming Friday and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Lookup TV. At Nakala Report, we turn the insanity into sanity and sanity into insanity.
taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable,
hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
How do you start your engine when it is time to drive? Are you a first-time car buyer or want to upgrade your wheels? Do you know your car brand? Is it powerful, stylish, or does it turn heads as you drive past? Well, let's get to know all about wheels on the Daily Drive Show with Ian Otieno as we review all automobiles inclusively, specs and powertrain, interior, exterior, and pricing. Get on board with Ian Otieno for a dose of automobile scene on Look Up TV.
People are there to belittle you. When people are questioning you,
if you don't move fast, of course, yes, you lose it, but then it's not us to push you.
But you do not know the God who has been molding me. What has he been doing to me?
The deep and mature conversations of empowerment for you with a curious mind and an appetite for oriented conversations.
I concur with what you're saying. You plan your finances, you can easily live without a debt.
An engaging safe space of free expression and truthfulness with an upheld vibrance, motivation and happiness.
So many children who are there, they are not living their dreams.
Join us for deep conversations with Zipporah Gashushe every Saturday from 8 p.m. The Deeper Conversations on Look Up TV. Start your day with a workout routine, an exciting moment of exercise that is simple but powerful for your ultimate fitness. Build your strength, shape and body muscles with lunges, push-ups, squats, burpees, planks, dumbbells and more. Let's work out every Monday to Saturday from 6:30 a.m. on Fitness Zone, a one surefire way to attack your fitness regimen effectively.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed the life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Thank you so much. Welcome back. We're glad you're watching The Morning Drift, the big conversation, state of the nation, right here at Look Up Television. And of course, we just have a clarity in regards to the same and the incidents and the current happenings right here in the country. We've seen to ask this. Of course, our political analyst Sibuor is right here with us, just accommodating the space on this particular conversation. When President says that wachana na Wakenya, what really came to your mind?
I think to recommend the president for that statement, in that particular moment, he looked at the situation, he looked at the crowd that was before him, and he felt like if the president was to stop his speech, let me imagine what could have happened. Because the stampede could have started straight away, and so many people could have lost their life, and so many people could have injured. And I have to thank the president being a gentleman and say, wachana na Wakenya, he played what he call a PR language. To calm the situation. Remember at that particular time, there was pushback and already started like a movement, commotion in that particular rally. And the president just said, okay, wachana na Wakenya, and then things calmed down and he continued the speech. So at that particular moment, he saved the situation because in their neighbor, they went to the hospital with a lot of injuries and all that. That could also happen these sides of Migori if the president could have stopped the speech and walk away and be taken by the security in his car and maybe move out, because people could be thinking what's going to happen next. Is somebody going to throw a grenade on us? Somebody going to throw a bomb on us? Somebody is going to throw tear gas on us? And so with that big crowd, I think the worst could have happened. And the president played PR language and a gentleman to calm the situation. So in that case, it was a PR to calm the situation.
And then, of course, also a PR to protect himself and the image,
also to protect himself and the
because of the happenings that happened for the Gen Zs and the youths.
Exactly.
Indeed. What if you would have said a totally negative thing? What will be the mind of the Gen Zs?
The crowd could have erupted. You see now, that's what I'm saying. The worst thing could have happened if the president could have now start attacking the people in Migori or stop his speech. The worst could have happened with that big crowd, because you feel that crowd, everybody pushing each other and all that. So the worst could have happened. So I think we have to recommend the president for what his statement. Wachana wa Kenya. Let's move on. It has happened. It has happened. And this political rally, you also expect as a politician, you expect everything to happen in such situation. He has encountered such situation before.
On the insecurity is concerned as well. Also, we can't forget about the issue on the blood parliament that also has risen so much concerns, both for the leaders and the country as well. I remember there were filmmakers that were arrested in regards to the same, and yesterday, of course, they were released in that manner. But really to understand this, what was the reason for their arrest, and did they record the wrong thing, and did they do a wrong thing in regards to the production of the BBC? That is Nicholas Gichuki, Brian Adegala, Mark Karubiu, and among 4 documentary filmmakers that were arrested by police from their studio in Karen under unclear circumstances and then later on released. Were their findings inappropriate?
I think the state has got an ill motive to silence the media. We get the information through the media.
Indeed.
The BBC did a good job. To help Kenyans understand what exactly happened during the protest, during the Jay-Z protest. And the BBC is international media house that do thorough job, like you guys, you do thorough job before you give, because you know the consequences when the thorough job is not being done. The state has been caught off guard. They will try to look at the loophole in the BBC documentary, but they have not get one. It means that they did a good job. So they're trying to silence the people that were involved in this particular documentary. And I think that is not right. The state need to own their mistake for us to have a conversation moving forward as a country, for us to one life is very important. Like the life of Kasipul Kabondo MP is very important to his people, to Kenyans, and even to the MPs themselves. The life of Jay-Z is very important, to equally important to everyone. So if they need to have a start, the leaders need to have a conversation. The leaders, the parliament has been overtaken by the executive. They are the puppet. They are the choir members of the executive. Right now, you don't know who is in the opposition and who is in the government. Anytime the bill or the motion need to pass in the parliament, the money circulate. Up to now, people still asking, why did they impeach Gachagua? But the money was circulated. Gachagua was impeached. But now, after impeaching, because I think they were promised that after impeaching Gachagua, the Mount Kenya MPs will get money, will get development. Nothing is happening. There's nothing like that. So the parliament has been overtaken by the executive. They cannot have the constructive discussion of actually for the document and tell us, force the agencies that are involved to make investigation, so that the police who involved in killing the Jay-Z should be brought into book. They should face the law and they should be accountable for their action. A lot of changes need to take place in the security sector. Kenyans are turning to be enemies of their own. The police who is supposed to maintain law and order is killing Kenyans anyhowly. The head of state have not speak about the Jay-Z. I'm waiting the head of state to give us what happened, to give a recommendation or to give the way forward on BBC. They have not spoken. The parliament is supposed to put pressure on the executive to give us the way forward. How do we solve this matter? Because we are still in a stalemate. We don't know what to do. The parliament have gone to bed with the head of with the executive. The parliament is speaking the same language the executive is speaking. People die every day. Let's sympathize. Let's move on. If a member of parliament who was elected to protect and be part of parcel of people who make sure Kenyans are safe, Kenya have proper laws that can be able to govern the state, is saying people die every day, let's sympathize and move on. A member of parliament say, if you feel Kenya is a bad country, things are not working, people are going to the health sector, they don't get medication, people are telling them, SHA is not working. They are saying, if you feel Kenya is not a good country, you can go and live in Dubai. They are telling them, okay, the education sector is not working. Right now, the University of Nairobi has been operating for the last 6 months or now moving to a year without a council. Without a council. They have acting VC who seem not to be understanding how the university operates in terms of management, in terms of leadership. Nobody is talking of that. If you go to technical university, the students who joined the university last year, September, still in semester 1. Nothing is going on in that particular university. That particular university is going on to its new More University collapse and all that. Nobody is talking about that. But you feel if you bring this before the members of parliament, security, the education, the health, telling them things are not working. They are telling you if you feel that Kenya is not a good country, you go and live in Dubai. It's high time as a Kenyan, we have a conversation. How do we need to move our country forward. From security and the police must own up. I've told you, there's some police stations, if you go, the OCS have been there for like 6 years. That is a person who cannot be able to change anything in that particular area. The other day, the police who is supposed to protect people in Baragoi, in Narok, was shooting people, killing people aimlessly. Let me tell you, if we not have this conversation of the security sector being system being put in place, procedures being put in place, will not have a country in the future. That when you echo your voice, when you say what you feel need to be corrected, your life is taken by security. Because the security are now puppet of the politicians, are now the puppet of the state. Police oversight, the IPOA is not doing any work. They keep on saying, if anything happened, even for the Jay-Z, you know what they're saying? We'll be able to do the investigation. We'll bring the people who shoot these people into responsible, take full force of the law and all that. After that, that's been always the story. All along, many years, IPOA has never delivered anything substantial, arrest the police, take them to court, take them to jail, never. And we need now to start having a conversation. If it's not conversation, it's not there, we'll disband because it's a waste of taxpayers' money.
Do you think this particular conversation in regards to the aligning of the country is what is bringing the former president to really make a voice in regards to aligning the country in a best way possible and making sure that we're moving forward in coming along?
I think the former president feel that the youth have been so changed in this particular government. Never articulate their issues. Previous regime has never helped them to achieve what they need to be achieved. The previous regime have been telling them you are the leader of tomorrow, and that has never come. Young people have been shortchanged by this regime, this administration. They no longer bother of their life. They no longer care about their life. Even you see the young MPs in parliament, how they speak. You know, every day people die, they move on. There's young people in the university, issues of health, the loan and everything. Young people go to the hospital for medication. Young people cannot get jobs because this administration decided, instead of bringing the investors into the country to invest so that we create more jobs for the young people, they already decided to increase the taxes. The investors are running away. The investors are never involved. They don't want to invest in our country. If you don't invest, you don't get investors coming to invest in our country. There'll be no job creation. There'll be no job opportunity. Who suffer are the young people, the young graduate, the people who look for the job every day, the job seekers. Majority of them are young people who just graduated from their colleges and from their universities and all that. So the young people have been shortchanged. The young people must now start having a conversation moving forward. And that's why the Jay-Z, the young people are very determined to determine the destiny of this country come 2027. Nobody is now having a conversation about the young people. Nobody. And in 2020, before the general election, the President Ruto and his teams assured the young people, this government is going to be for the young people. A lot of changes is going to take place in terms of education, in terms of money, you get loans, you move to... Things were promised. A lot of things were promised. And the young people were like, now this is our government. That has not seen the end of the day. That has not seen the light. And President Uhuru now coming in strongly and say, this country is in our hand. We have to decide whether we want a stable sustainability of the country, of development for the future, or we want the political class to take over the country. And we are saying, no, it's our time. We must be able to work and work around the table and make sure that we have a future, we have a country to protect. We need sustainability, we need development, we need jobs. We need things to thrive. We need to thrive as a country. We need to create job for these young people. Yeah. So I really support the President Uhuru. He's not emotional. He's not political. I see some mouthpiece of this administration yesterday, wherever they were in rallies, saying, "Oh, the President Uhuru is supposed to retire." President Uhuru has kids. Actually, he has young people. I see his son and daughter. They are in the same and the same rank of youths at this particular time. He also feel he come from a community where there's young people. He come from Gatundu in Kiambu. There's majority of young people dropping out of schools in Kiambu and all other areas. So he cannot go and sleep because he has a retired president. He has actually, the countries that are developed right now, the former president comes out strongly to criticize the administration, to give the direction to the future. You cannot just tell the President Uhuru now just go and sit, and the country is moving nowhere. There's no sustainability.
Yep, you're right. Of course, Farouk Kibet, President William Ruto's henchman, launched a direct attack on former President Uhuru Kenyatta for his continued involvement in the nation's political affairs. He accused Uhuru of stirring unrest among the youth and interfered.
Pokot, and the other time, yesterday I think they were in Nyeri, and they were launching attack on the former president. And for me, that is not right. The former president is a citizen like any other Kenyan, and he feel for Kenyans who are suffering. He can clearly see how youths were shortchanged. They were promised things that were not delivered, and they are not going to be delivered very soon. Because now we are talking of the campaign come 2027. So I think the conversation should be, the Farouk Kibet should have this kind of conversation. What is it that we are not doing right, that Uhuru is getting this loophole to incite the youth? I cannot say incitement as per se, but I'm saying, what is it that we are not doing right as a country to our youth? Job creation. Are we creating jobs? I've just tell you, if you go to technical university, the students who joined the university last year in September, they are still in semester 1. They are expecting to go to semester 2. When are they going to go to semester 2? More universities at that time, the medical school, students who are doing medicine, they have been there and they have been there. Their life, they have been completely messed up with. Those are a group of young people who expect to graduate, move on, look for jobs, whether within the country and out of the country. But that has not happened. More university where we have a majority of people are young people, their life have been messed up. University of Nairobi, the same right now, we've been operating with the council, without a council. This instability in terms of leadership, instability in terms of management, and things don't seem to be working. That affects the young people.
So do you think the former president is inciting the...
It's not inciting, it's enlightening on issues that we need to articulate, issues that we need to have conversation. If the young people are coming out to go to the street to protest, this must be a problem. And these are the problems that the government need to address. They must accept. Farouk Kibet and his team must accept there's a problem. How do we address the problem? Let's get a solution. If there's no job opportunity, the government is not creating job opportunity. The government is not wavering who more investors to come into the country, to build factories, to build industries, so that they can be able to, the young people can be able to get the job. So where is it that the young people are agitated? That's the question we need to ask ourselves moving forward as a country. Why are they agitated? Why are the young people feel they have been shortchanged? Why are things not working? Why the young people feel this country, we don't have a future with this kind of administration, with this kind of leadership? Uhuru is an elder. An elder can't sit down and just see things not working for the young with the new ideas on how to run the government and help the situation, the current situation. The current situation at hand, the education sector, which involve the young people almost 100%, is not seems to be working. It's stagnant. The health sector, the job sector, which is creation of investors coming in, and this is agitating the young people. So let's have a conversation. What is it that making these young people to feel they have been sidelined, they have been shortchanged? Things are not working, there's no stability in the country, and all that. Once we get that right, Uhuru will not have a chance to, you call it incitement or you call it to talk on the voice of on the youth. Youth will be able to pick and move on. But the problem that we have in our country, we are good in silence the voice that have come out to speak the truth. That isn't, whether in the media, whether in the political class, those people who differ with the government ideology, politically and all that, people, it become the enemy of the government. Uhuru right now has become the enemy of the government. But you expect him to go and sleep in the bed and things are not working in the country. He must speak on these things, and we must speak as a country. We must get the way forward, and we must have a discussion as a country.
The same situation happened after getting out of the office, then he started speaking, so he's becoming like a defender of the people.
Yeah, because the people, so Gachagua is taking this space. Gachagua is taking this opportunity to now defend the people.
Is it the right thing?
Now, we only have two people actually defend, been sidelined by the administration. He will come out strongly to defend the people. Right now, it's only Babu Owino and Sifuna that have to defend the people, to say that the state should not see these voices as the enemy of the state. Any country to progress or develop or to bring stability in the country, there must people who criticize the government. Do you know, even today, if you write a thesis and that thesis is not criticized, it should be thrown to the dustbin. If the states are not being criticized, there's no strong opposition in the states, then that state is become useless. You will not be able to deliver and cannot be able to sustain its people in terms of economical sustainability, development, and everything, and what have you. So I'm seeing people now coming out and say, this is not a country to be proud of. Something needs to happen, and it needs to happen immediately, as soon as possible. We need to have a conversation. If it's security, it's not, right now it's not even where the president is coming from, because even where the president is coming from, the Kalenjin land, they're really suffering. Many people are being killed in West Pokot, Baringo, Tiati, Samburu, Baragoi the other day in Narok, Jay-Z the other day, they lost their life. The MPs are losing their life. We have to have a conversation. The security coming out strongly, that's why it's gaining ground, because people want someone who can speak for them. If the health sector is not working, we come out and see what is it not working. If the youth are not getting job, what is it that we are not doing right as a country that we need to put right? If the education sector is not working, we're almost closing Moi the other day. Nobody is speaking about that. Moi is a big university that have transformed and manufactured, if I may use, prominent people in this country. The University of Nairobi, I'm telling you, the University of Nairobi have been operating for the last, now is moving to a year, in terms of leadership, in terms of management. The other day, the Chiromo land, the land is being grabbed by a known developer. The hockey pitch has been grabbed. They don't know what's happening. If you ask somebody in the university what's happening here, nobody can tell you. The technical university, I'm telling you, the students who joined last year, in September are still in semester 1, and I don't think they've even attended enough classes. Come on, if it's more classes, they've attended like 10 classes actually, and they're still in semester 1. Lecturers are not being paid for a long period of time. They don't know, students don't. Having a conversation, we must have what's come out. People need to reach the government. But I see we thought that the Raila will be able to take this opportunity, but it seems that he's also, I think, he's tired with. He's been in position for long, and with that's no problem. We need to get someone come in also to take over, to criticize the government and put the government into force. But I remember one of the things, that agenda that President Ruto was campaigning on platform. He said that he would like to have a strong opposition. Now he has gone with the bed with the opposition. So nothing seems to be happening. And that's why Wamunyoro is now chipping in to clear the gap.
Indeed. All right, you've quite elaborated much about the moving on, and of course aligning things in the government and creating a safe space for the government, and also 27 general elections. And of course, former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i's made his maiden visit to Gachagua's Wamunyoro home on Saturday. Following his visit, Gachagua said the struggle they are in today is for the future, as he quoted former US President Abraham Lincoln. Of course, he welcomed the former CS to his home. Now, the questions that are rising up to this particular moment on the discussion of which now Matiang'i coming along and stating that he will vie for the presidency coming 2027. What do you think is perhaps the real taste towards what Matiang'i will bring along?
I'm very skeptical about this group on three concepts. One of my reasons is that Israel resembling this team behind the curtain. That could be one of the reasons. I'm very skeptical. Israel are buying time in the broad-based government, but he knows behind the scene is working with the Uhuru to craft this through Matiang'i being just a hot air and eventually become the principal in this group. That's one. Number two, I'm very skeptical that William Ruto will dismantle this opposition before 2027. Why? If I'm very sure where I'm sit that William Ruto does not, is a clinical politician, and it's a schemer. He does not trust Raila 100%. And if he doesn't trust Raila 100%, it's come with a lot of consequences. I don't think he can rely on Raila's vote, on Raila's stronghold to vote for him.
Why?
And therefore he can't bank on Raila, but he can bank on Kalonzo. And been rumors that Kalonzo is State House visitors every morning and evening, and collecting, like being payroll here without blinking my eye. Kalonzo will be in Ruto's running mate 2027, and that's why I'm saying very skeptical. Number two, whether this group will stand on their own, because if you look at the other side of Western Province, Mudavadi and Watangula cannot stand the wave. They cannot bring a chunk of votes. I think even their wave is like dying. Their light is like zimmering at this particular moment in place. Davadi and Watangula just remain a normal politician. Even some of our MPs are better than them in terms of votes now.
So if they can't, we're introducing Ruto to, of course, to the next term as well.
So they will not play a big role. They will not, because right now Mudavadi is able to deliver much. As I see the Wamunyoro wave, you can. It's like Kikuyus. If they say they'll support you, can trust them. But now Kikuyu, the Mount Kenya nation are sliding away. They are going away out of Ruto. Ruto will be like, okay, if I cannot get Mount Kenya nation, which was 4 million voting in my basket, but I cannot leave 2 million votes from Kalonzo, the Kamba nation. So I'm pretty sure, skeptical, either Raila is the one assembling the team behind the curtain. Number two, I'm very sure Ruto will scatter this team before 2027. And the eye is for Kalonzo to be his running mate. And that is just a matter of time. Number three, the political rivalry and mistrust will come into play between here. One, Kalonzo will feel that he's the most senior politician. So if he's not going to be given flag bearer, he will not accept this time round. And therefore, he will opt to walk out. Because I'm very sure Kalonzo cannot finances a presidential campaign. It's not a joke. Kalonzo does not have that support, that financial stability to fund the campaign. Eugene Wamalwa, the same. Natembea the same, that the people just maybe the principal in this group. Karua cannot deliver any votes. So I'm very skeptical because I know Wamunyoro with this financial ability, the Mount Kenya, but I don't think he'll also vie.
Indeed.
And you see, Mount Kenya is a region that they want to see their person in the ballot. If they see their person in the ballot, they will vote 100%. Look at how they disappointed Ruto. You know, Ruto was expecting 6 million votes from Mount Kenya, but he ended up getting 4, simply because they vote in one basket, but their person must be in the ballot, because they believe we are the majority to be able to vote. And that, again, will be a loophole for Ruto. If they decide that Wamunyoro is not on the ballot supporting someone, Matiang'i, and Ruto will still get some chunk of votes in central Kenya. Actually, if it's not 40%, even 30%, because there are some people who will feel, okay, we are already in the government, let's remain here, than Wamunyoro, who is taking us to Kisii. Number 4, I'm very skeptical of tribal card. I'm not a tribalist, and I can tell you for sure. But Kenyan politics is more of tribal, and that's why there's the people have been saying there's only 4 tribes can be president. 1, Kikuyu. Number 2, the Kalenjin. Number 3, the Luos. Number 3, the Luyas, and maybe number 4, maybe the Kamba nation, maybe. Because Kenya, we in a tribal politics. Somebody should not come here and tell you we ignore, oh, you are a tribalist person or what. Since Raila Odinga withdrew the Luos Jay-Z in the demonstration, you ever seen somebody going for demonstration?
Not really.
Never. Since Raila say, okay, now we are in a broad-based government, do you hear any demonstration in Kisumu?
No.
Do you hear any demonstration in Migori? So the 4th factor is a tribal factor. They will be asking a question. What do Matiang'i want to bring on the table first?
Of course.
That question is fundamental. What is he going to bring on the table first? Yeah. Can Matiang'i goes to Mombasa today and pull a crowd that he pulled in Kisii alone? Can he go to Embu? Can he go to Murang'a? Can he go to Nakuru? What does he bring in a tribal politics first? You find that Matiang'i will bring 400,000 votes. Nyachai tried that and it did not work, my friend. So I is really expecting miracle that Matiang'i is going to use for him to win and beat William Ruto. I'm very skeptical for 4 things. 1, the tribal card. What does Matiang'i bring on the table in terms of his tribal? Number 2, financial factor. What does Kalonzo Matiang'i, does they have that marshal or financial campaign to run the campaign? Number 3, the mistrust factor. Number 4, Israel and Uhuru resemble this team for 2027. But the mistrust factor, I'm very sure Kalonzo will jolt out of this team. So consider this factor. 1 factor is going to play a crucial role here for 2027. Wamunyoro will be very honest that he would like to remove Ruto from power. He's very honest. That, I think, is okay. It's a conversation that he has started. So but now the strategy with the people that's working around him.
As we come to the bottom line, of course, lovely insights are there. As we come to the bottom line, what will be your final take towards the government and achieving a proper direction towards elevating the country to the best level?
The government must go to first. The president should stop campaigning.
Indeed.
I was very when the Labor Day says that it's time for us to work. The election will come in 2027. Indeed. And we will be judged with our performance and what we have delivered to Kenyans. And those who will be lucky to be elected will continue. Those who will be defeated because they did not deliver will go home. I think the president now to put that in place. First, the president now need to go back to his plan, the initial plan, the vision, the strategy, the manifesto, what he promised Kenya to deliver. That's one. The president should now reevaluate what he promised Kenya. Now 2 years or 3 years down the line, what has he done? That's number 1. Number 2, the president need to stop campaigning. Because now the president has been campaigning from 2013 to now we are...
As you wind up.
Yeah, it's now president need to stop campaigning. And number 3, we need to have a conversation on our country, on the stability, on development, on the young people, education, health, and all that moving forward. the Trevor president is bragging to that develop affordable housing. That does not change anything in normal Mwananchi. Normal Mwananchi want to hear, if I walk to the shop supermarket today, can I get the wunga at 70 shillings? That's what, can we buy fuel? Because other countries that have supply fuel at 70, at 120, 140, 150, not 170. That's what the normal Mwananchi want to hear. And that's the conversation that we need to start having. There's a burden in terms of sustainability, in terms of life become very burden to normal Mwananchi. So the president should now start with the basic things.
Basic things, okay. Thank you so much, sir, for making time. That is Stephen Juma Sibuor, a political analyst and educationist right here in the country. We've engaged towards elevating the country to the best level, and of course we've understood the elements of the state of the nation right here even as we speak. So much is happening, and of course we're expecting so much to happen across this week. And even as we begin Monday, we only expect the greater good. Now, see you tomorrow on Tuesday as we just have matters health, kidogo kidogo, tujue hali zetu za afya, and of course even as we move on to the next step, let's keep the tags rolling. So this has been the Morning Drift, of course the big conversation right here on the Morning Drift. The week is just about starting. Happy Monday.